अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय.
बाबा की जय.
Bhikkhu, you start the prayer, please.
Yeah. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. Beloved God and all, we love you more and more, and more, and still yet more, till we become worthy of union with you, and help us all to hold fast to Baba's daman till the very end. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय.
Jai Baba, everyone. Exam is not down, so I'll take over. Our speaker for evening is Arish Patel. Most of you know Arish Patel. The whole of Parsi community knows Arish Patel. Kamabag, Albles Bag, Kolabag, Gyari, everybody. I will leave the introduction of Arish to Arish himself, but there are few things that I need to talk about Arish. To begin with, Arish is third generation of Baba lovers. And whenever I talk, my almost very first sentence is that our family friend called Hosang Patel brought us to spirituality. Hosang Patel happens to be Arish's father, Jimmy's father. That's Hosang Patel. We'll leave it to Arish to talk about his grandfather, of course. And Arish also happens to be, Sam Patel happens to be Arish's kaka. So that's the connection the Patel family has. Jimmy, Arish's father, Jimmy, and myself, we are or we were contemporaries at Guru Prasad. We would be seated with Baba at Guru Prasad. So that was in the 60s. We have a tight program today. After Arish finishes, Parvez Walodwala will continue from wherever Arish ends. So without much ado, Arish, just introduce yourself briefly and then the screen is yours.
Okay. Jai Baba, everybody. I'm very happy that so many participants are there. For me, this is going to be a first time where I'm going to be on Zoom, so please bear with me. There could be a couple of mistakes. I have a slight problem. My memory was sometimes disconnects, so sometimes it's A and sometimes it goes Z. So don't worry about that. Sometimes these things happen. But just to give you a very brief idea as to who I am and what my connection with Baba is and how the entire three generations have been connected. And of course, now my dearest daughter Tiana also is in the same fold. So the connection and the bloodline has been flowing since a very long time. Am I audible? Is everybody clear? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. Good. Now, first, let me just give you a brief idea about myself, so that in the other part of the stories, people get an idea of what things are there and how my life has taken its turns and stuff like that. So to be presently what I'm doing right now is I'm a banker. I'm a head cashier at the Pede Road branch. Jimmy uncle comes regularly, Feroz auntie comes regularly, and I've been in the bank now since the last 28 years. 28 years. It's been a very long time. Thanks to my mother, I got the job that time in '93. And then it so happens that in the year 2000, I ventured into photography, and then photography was like a passion because dad used to do photography. Then it ventured into video, and then it went into DJ music. So now we are into the whole concept of, like, you can say, a small event management kind of a thing, where we are handling photography, video, and music for everybody. If you have a function, if you have a Navjot, you have a wedding, a lot of Baba lovers kids functions I must have done. Firuza Khan, Jimmy Khan's children's weddings, and probably my dad had done their Navjot photos, all of that. So just giving you a very brief idea about myself, that what we had, I've been doing in my life over the years. Now, talking about Baba and how my entire purpose and story of our entire generation is all about Baba, entirely about Baba. How it all began, probably uh, my grandfather, who was extremely a very, very spiritual person, and he had probably met Baba in the early 40s, 50s, I don't know when, but his connections was very strong, and that's how we all became Mir Baba followers. Now, today, my idea to share with you is a little part of my own experiences, but a majority of part experiences uh, of my grandfather and my mother, most importantly, because many of you are absolutely unaware of the kind of stories my mother had, and you have absolutely no clue. But those were very, very powerful and touching stories, which very few people know. Because my dad basically doesn't talk too much. Nor did my grandfather. He would hardly share stories. But I feel this is the time where uh, you know uh, I need to talk about this, and I need to talk about my mother, who was probably passed away in 1988 when I was only 14 years old, and her journey with Baba was very, very strong. So let me start with her. First of all, let me show you a picture of my mother. I mean, there she is. Uh, Very, very beautiful lady. Uh, I miss her a lot. So, what happened was my parents got married in 72 and I was born in 74. But in 1972, 73, she was not from a Baba family, not at all. She was a very strong headed family, which majorly were, I would say, the family where, like my grandfather always used to say, we call it the TTF family. TTF family means Tameta Maru Four family. Absolutely. Like you're on your own, everybody's in their own rooms, family ties are very limited. And that's exactly what I am, a part more emotional because of my father, and more very, very practical because of my mother. It's a combination of the two, which I have. Uh, so it all began in 1972 when my parents got married. And my father that time had introduced her to Baba, of course, because Baba was everything for my father and the entire Patel family. And she was from another family, uh, the engineer family. By the way, her name was Vilu Engineer. People don't know about it. Once again, I would just like to show her picture for people who have come a little late. This is her picture. It's my mother, a very, very close and dear friend of Havovi Dada Chanji, Bepsi, Khabata, Daina Masi, all of them, Firuza, Jimmy Khan, all of them, were very close to her. And she used to frequently visit Mehrabad in many a times. So it all began in 1972, 73, where one fine day my dad gave her a Baba book where, uh, she read that book. And in that particular book, Baba had mentioned that I'm the same ancient one that have been repeatedly coming over the years. I was the Christ, I was Zarathustra, I was this one, I was that one, I was, you know, uh, all of those avataric forms. And I'm here back again for you people to redeem all of you. So she read the book and she said, "Oh my God, this guy has just gone crazy. I mean, itlu badu to su ego ne, how can somebody say that he is God in human form and stuff like that?" So she almost closed the book and she put it aside. Okay, boss, Javada hai to ke idda mach kai. And she kept saying in her mind, ke Baba hai to ke idda mach kai. I don't believe in all this. This is getting a little too much. And the same night, I think we were staying in Malad or maybe some other place that time. Same night, okay, my mother gets a vision. Listen to this. She gets a vision and a dream where Baba shows her all the past avatars. Like she sees Zarathustra, she sees Buddha, she sees Ram, See, she is Krishna, and then she sees Baba. And at the end of it, she sees a Japanese looking man. A Japanese looking man. Okay. Now, she had that beautiful dream and she was all overwhelmed. Early in the morning, she tells my father, કે Jimmy, બાબાએ તો કઈ કમાલ કીધી ને મને તો બધા એવરના અવતાર્સ બતાવી દીધા. You know. And so, but બધું મને સમજ પડ્યું કે ઓકે રામ દેખાયા, કૃષ્ણ દેખાયા, બુદ્ધા દેખાયા, ઝરથુસ્ત્ર દેખાયા, બાબા છેલ્લા દેખાયા. એની પછી યાર કોઈ જાપાનીઝ માણસ દેખાયો. તે મને સમજ નહીં પડ્યું કે તે શું છે. What was that? So then daddy told mummy, hey, you are the fortunate one that you have seen the next avatar, which is going to be born after 700 years, where Baba has predicted that after 700 years, I will be born in Japan. So, do you see the connection? At that point of time, Baba actually showed her the future avatar which is going to come after 700 years. Can you believe that? So that's a very, very powerful, message that Baba showed her. Okay, bhai, this is the next advent. Now this is so powerful and so strong, and I consider my mother to be very fortunate with that. After that, Jimmy uncle, if you would like to say something in the middle, please do so. I'm just fine with the whole thing. Okay. After that, this is the first confirmation which she got, and slowly and steadily she started believing in Baba, and getting to know him, getting to understand him. Later on I will like to continue 3-4 of her stories because nobody knows about these stories. These are very personal and very, very intimate stories, which have gone with my mother. So I needed to talk to you guys about it. After that, in the year, so this was the first story. Her confirmation became very strong that so many avatars, Baba showed her the future and whatever. After that, in 1982, my mother got diagnosed with cancer. She was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she developed a lump over here and umpteen complications. The entire family got haywire, and she continued with cancer till 1988. She suffered heavily for 6 long years, which totally drained of our finances. The emotional part of it, I don't know how my dad actually stood. Dad was extremely strong, I believe, and he stood by the whole thing. So it was amazing. So 1982, mommy gets detected with cancer, and then kind of it was like in those days cancer was not much treatable. There were a lot of limitations where people used to do this and that, and Tata Memorial of course was there, but it's had its limitations. So one fine day, this story happened in the year after around 2 years, so around 1984 or 85. Mummy was working in the bank itself, in the Central Bank of India, and a few days or a few months before, she was experiencing tremendous pain in her lower back. There was some pain in her lower back. So we went to Dr. Nasha, Dr. Alice, the local doctors were tried to, okay, bhai, what is the reason for this back pain? Cancer had definitely gone down to a certain level. Just a second, 1 second. Tiana, close the door, please. Okay, so sorry about that. And she was experiencing some amount of back pain, and which was like we went to a couple of doctors, wasn't getting solved, and she was continuing with the pain. And then one fine day, what happened was that she was at the Central Bank of India branch, and at around 3:30 or 3 o'clock, these ladies used to go down in the washroom to probably start getting home. So she was probably going to wash herself of a face and stuff like that. And there she had a very, very bad sneeze. She had a very strong sneeze and she collapsed in the bathroom itself. She collapsed so badly and she shouted in tremendous pain. And she wouldn't even allow any of the people even to touch her. So there was a big kind of a chaos at the Bombay main office branch. All the central bank people came down trying to help her, but she would not move. And then, immediately my dad was called, and dad, of course, there were no mobile phones or pagers or even landlines people had in different houses. So somehow dad was contacted, and dad was immediately called, and with Baba's grace, very very slowly and patiently, she had to be put in the ambulance and taken. Now the story goes is that she was taken to Pasi General Hospital. That time even Pasi General had their limitations and stuff like that. So there was this doctor over there, a very high-end cancer specialist. I wouldn't want to name that person, and his son had come from abroad learning all the technologies from abroad and stuff like that. And when mummy's problem was shown to them, they said that she'll have to be operated immediately. She would have to be operated. So they scheduled the operation for the next day. So the father and the son both were going to be performing that operation. And in those days, spine operation was considered to be a very, 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 very big thing. Very big thing. It was not as common as today. And pinhole surgery, killing and stuff like that. So and finally, what happens is, so it was all set, and then probably they were all, dad and the family was extremely tensed up. They were very process. Not a small operation, smile surgery at that point of time was a big thing. And normally when people are in the hospital, we put Baba's picture. Either we put Baba's picture on the side, where people have, on the table, on the side of the table, or we put a picture below the bed or something of that sort. Now, when mummy was taken for the surgery inside, both these doctors, after some time, came out and said, "I'm sorry, but there is a force." One of the doctors said, "There's a force that is telling us not to do this operation. There's a force which is telling us not to do this operation. So I'm sorry, we can't touch her. There is something." And daddy is saying, "Look, operation na kapra mas bora." With the gloves, with their masks on, everything, both of them came out. And they said, "Okay, sorry, but we cannot perform this operation. Something is stopping us to do it." Okay. And so they cancelled the whole operation. Maybe said, "Okay, nahi, apne thoda divas aur var joiye. There could be something major." And then when they brought her out, daddy saw Mer Baba's picture, and sorry, had come down from the pillow to the back area. So I'm sorry about the emotional part. And
Arish, it's okay. You can take about 30 seconds. Take a break for 30 seconds. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. So the photo had come down like towards the back area. And so dad said, "Okay, maybe Baba didn't want this operation." After a few days, when they took her to the Memorial Hospital, the cancer had totally spread in the back area. And the doctor said over there, if the operation would have been performed, she would have been paralyzed forever. Do you understand? So Baba saved her from that. Baba actually, you know, showed his presence and saved her. And then, of course, things went on. The cancer had spread, was spreading rapidly, very, very rapidly. Suffering went on for 6 years. One fine day, I remember she had gone, we used to go for this regular visits to Mirabad. And the whole Jing Bang, Dinah Masi, Avovi Auntie, all of them used to, I'll just show you a picture with there's Mera, that's Avovi Dada Chanji. They're very close friends of hers. So I just kind of removed a lot of pictures today since I had the time. That's everybody can see. That's Bepsi, the Bepsi auntie. That's Mummy there, and that's Havovi auntie. Very close friends of hers for life. Yeah. And here it's mentioned Mera's birthday. I just read this 22nd 12 1984. It's taken on Mera's birthday. So that's the mention there. Mera's birthday was here. And so this is it. And so they used to go to Mirabad on a regular basis. On a regular basis. I mean, whenever the time was, maybe for 15 days in December or July, whenever, whatever time. So one fine day, Mummy had suffered a lot. She had gone through a lot of chemo and she had lost all her hair, a lot of complications. 6 years was really, really bad. And those times, cancer was not that treatable. So one day she's in the Samadhi and she couldn't bend, When you used to bend down in the Samadhi to take darshan, we couldn't bend. She couldn't bend to take down the darshan. So she had a thought in her mind, okay, Baba, I just wish I just kind of am able to touch the Samadhi or bow down to you. And that time, in the Samadhi, we used to actually, right now it's all restricted, but when we used to go in the Samadhi, we would be able to stand for the Aarti and stuff like that. So during the Aarti, I mean, many people have witnessed this. I'm sure Bepsi Auntie, Dinah Masi, all of them have witnessed this. Mummy, from here, she was standing, she just fell down, flat bang on the Samadhi. And people thought that she has expired. During the Aarti time, this happened. And she fell bang on the Samadhi in such a way that her head touched the Samadhi there. And everybody thought, "Ke boss, I to Vilu to gujri gayi, te type no story thi." But fortunately, she regained consciousness. She was absolutely back to normal. And then she told everybody कि मैं बाबा ने खाली mind में अर्जी की थी कि I just had a thought कि to just bow down to him, which I was not able to because of my problem. She couldn't bend down only. Benders nahi tha, Today, how so simple for us to bend up and bend down at the Samadhi. We take it so much for granted. And then the Baba made her actually give her like a satskar, namaskar. And she was happy in that. Now, this is probably the last one which I want to talk about my mother, which is probably the last day. Now, listen to this. This is unbelievable. A very, very strong story. I hope everybody is listening. I hope I'm not boring you guys or something. It's absolutely fine. Okay. So now this is 6 September 1988. Okay. Now listen to this. 6 September 1988. 7th September, she passed away. Now see the connection that she had with Baba. So now over the years, I can say her faith in Baba grew tremendously. Like everything on her lips was only Baba, Baba, Baba. The connection of that soul with Baba had, gone so strong, and with so much trouble and so much pain, it was just the connection went stronger and stronger. Everything Baba. I still remember as a child, when my eyes used to open up, she, Mehra ke Mani had told her, to kind of pray to Baba and have some water that was kept over there, some water. She would pray to Baba, and she'd have that 4 o'clock in the morning, some little ritual which Mehra or Mani had given. And so she used to follow that. And I remember as a child, of course I was very small, about 8, 10 years, you know, peelu aankh khule to jo ke bare mummy su kari raha. So I used to get up at 4 in the morning and pray and stuff like that. Now, the day before Emily, you know, she was brought to the Pasi General Hospital on the couple of days ago. And first time in the entire history, she was an extremely a lovely patient. She used to keep smiling, spread love. All the people in the world remember her as a very, very loving person. You know, this is her lovely smiling picture there. Everybody can see. Yeah. Okay. She used to be always smiling and always happy in all her troubles. So this happened on the 6th of September, where a day before the doctor said कि Karachi ने blood transfusion आपको पास because things are getting bad and worse. So dad had given her the blood transfusion a day earlier, and probably in the night when they were sleeping, there was a nurse and a private nurse that was there. Dad was sleeping in the same room in the Pasi General Hospital. And there were all tubes and wires, and the blood transfusion was going on. And you know, daddy says ke badu rakha tubes nahi, and she was not in a state of consciousness. She was not in the state of consciousness. Suddenly, dad ni aankh khuli around say 4:45, 4:45 na 5. Now, see the connections. I will be talking about 3 timings that are the most important in Baba's time. 5 o'clock, Baba was born. Baba's birth time was 5 o'clock. So 4:45 to 5 ni vacche, daddy sees a dark, something very dark on her bed, very dark something on her bed. And he's wondering, I such her. So he gets up and he sees the tubes that were going through in this thing had come off. The tubes had come off and there was blood on the bed. Complete blood on the bed. And dad is wondering, I can say the private nurse had dozed off. So dad immediately woke her up, dekho, what is this? Ye kya ho gaya? And everything was actually removed. It was removed. Mummy has no clue about this. She was in her own state of unconsciousness. And daddy asked her, Dilu, I shoot kidu to baddu kari ken nakhiyo? Why have you removed all the, you know? See, it was not possible for a patient who is so bad to remove all this personally. Not possible. Nurse be dozed off, daddy just woke up with all this. And so, daddy asked Mummy, Dilu, what have you done? I mean, I badu su thai gayo, you know, like. I said, Jimmy, I have done nothing. And Mummy was absolutely daddy ke the most understanding patient. Je kehte kare, or doctor je bole te kare. You know, absolutely the most smiling person in the world, you know, whatever. People who knew her, they will always say about her. And so dad says, at 5 o'clock, she tells me, Jimmy, call everybody.
If you have some water next to you,
Yeah.
just take a sip. Take a sip.
Sorry about that. Jimmy, call everybody. I'm going today. These were her words. Dad was stunned. Exactly 5 wage thayu hai. Dad, Homiyar uncle's dad that time was in the hospital. Homiyar Mistry, a videographer, everybody knows him. He was in the hospital that day. His father was sick, you know, on the first floor. Dad ran down. Dad totally panicked. What is to be done? And he ran down, and Homiyar had just left. That time there were no phones, there was nothing. contact him kari sake, whatever. So he had just left. Then he immediately called up Cyrus uncle, Cyrus Khambata. Cyrus immediately came running. Ke, Jimmy, don't worry, I'm coming. Cyrus uncle and Betsy auntie were there by 6:30. 7 o'clock, they performed the aarti with mummy. Dad was, mummy was very attached also to Cyrus uncle. Cyrus uncle was very jovial, as he is always, and mummy had a lovely connect with him, I remember. So, because dad's best friend, of course. And so they did the aarti together. And then I was in school, I remember. Somebody came up to me and picked me up from school. I think daddy avela koi avela ke they urgently called you. I have to come out from within the class. Mummy is very serious. And then the word spread. So almost you won't believe, so many Baba lovers and so many of our close people directly flocked onto Pasi General Hospital. Okay, by, you know, she knew her time had come. She knew her time. Of course, I don't know how my dearest father must have taken it. She was only 39 years old. 39 years old. Today we are 46, so imagine. She was only 39 years old. So everybody was called, everybody was gathered around her. I still remember that time Pachiran my electricity bhi gayi hai. And I remember Dynamasi was there, Jimmy Khan's sister, which I pankha nakta tha, mummy pa, because of the, she was breathing probably her last. Around 12 o'clock, I remember Havovi Dada Chandji, my grandfather, started the Baba's prayer. I think Havovi Dada Chandji started the Buzave prayer. Bapaji, my grandfather, caught hold of her hand and kind of started praying. And exactly between Baba's time of 12 and 12:15, she dropped her body. So my idea of talking about this story was the three most important times of Baba's life. 5 o'clock where Baba was born, 7 o'clock everybody knows is the Aarti time, and 12 o'clock to 12:15 she dropped the body. So this is the story of my dearest mother. 7th September 1988, she passed away. After that, of course, it must have been a very difficult time. It was for me that point of time. Things took place, but fortunately, Baba's strength and Mummy's blessings have been always with me and always supported me. Of course, my father has been a pillar of support in everything. So that man is like a karma yogi. I can say it blindly. The way he has taken care of me and the family and everybody is just unbelievable. He's always been that pillar who has always stood by, no matter what, no matter what. So now coming down to the story that Mummy had passed away. So this was just a brief idea to give an idea. Okay, bhai, this was Mummy's stories. And I'm sure many people don't know about this because this was never, all this had never come out. Daddy would never speak about it. I would have never spoken about it. This is first time that we have actually spoken about it. So that's how Mummy connected very, very close to Baba, and her connections were very strong with Baba. And of course, today, wherever she is, like an angel, she's always guiding us and helping us in every possible way. Now, the story goes is how I came much connected with Baba and how Baba brought me strongly into his fold. So let's talk a little about that. For me, initially, when all this happened, I took it in a stride. I took it very strongly. Life got back to normalcy. Then suddenly one fine day, we used to go to Mehrabad. That time was what? To be honest with you, it was like a retreat. Okay, chalo bhai, Baba ni samadhi par bhi gaya. Volleyball to ramvanu 4-5 ni andar. Khawanu to top ma top bonu. So, it was like more of a fun time. Of course, we are young that time, Javani no Josh, all these things, friends. And Baba, to me from inside, I have, as a person, tried my level best to bring a lot of people to Baba. Look at all my friends are Baba lovers. Today their families are Baba lovers. Their children have become Baba lovers. So sometimes I feel that my intent on this earth was to bring more people to Baba. Sometimes I have this kind of a feeling, and I've doing it all my life. I've been trying to spread his word, his messages, and all that. But now, the strongest thing that happened in my life was when of course, we used to go to Merazad. We used to listen to Erach's talk. We used to meet Mani, our sister there. It was a different atmosphere. But that time we were kids. यार अबे बच्चा हो तो half the time your mind is outside somewhere. पहले garden में रंबा जाऊँ के खावा जाऊँ के all these things. So it didn't matter much. But then in the year probably in I think 98 or 99, I remember very well. I read the book Sounds of Silence, Carl Nan Umriger's book, which totally blew me away. I did not, I read that book and I hooked on for it for 3 days. I said, "Em kem thai sake?" How the book narrates and how many people have read the book. I'm sure Sounds of Silence is a very powerful book by Nan Umbriger. I am kem thai sake? I am kem thai sake? Those questions keep coming in my mind. And I used to keep wondering, "Em kem thai sake?" Just like unbelievable. And I kept talking to stories about Kal and Baba wherever I could, whoever I could meet, and that's how a lot of people, a lot of my friends got connected with Baba because of the Sounds of Silence. Sounds of Silence was a very powerful book, very very powerful book. I mean, some older generation of Baba lovers don't believe much into it. Whatever their belief, thank you, no problem. So. So one fine day I decide that I was going through a little turmoil in my life. Younger generation, I was in a relationship with somebody. And so I wrote down to Carl a message, "Ke bhai, what do you see future of that relationship?" And he was like, when these messages come across, they talk a lot between the lines. You have to understand those lines. They will never ever say directly what needs to be said to you. However, I just wanted to show you this letter, which had come to me I don't want to read the letter or something, but just want to show you the date. It shows 26th August 98. So it's almost 21 years now. So I can say whatever I want to say. Anyways, so this was the letter I got from Carl. And he wrote pretty okay about whatever that was going through or whatever. And at the end of it, he mentioned to me that do not leave your steady job. Now listen to this. Do not leave your steady job. Baba says, do not leave your steady job. Now with this bank job. Do not leave your steady job. For you will be going to be having a family soon. And you will be a father soon and a very good one. Do you understand? That time I was 98. I got married in 2005, 2070, and I was born. So it was a long time. So he wrote that message down and he very categorically said, do not leave your steady job. So with Baba's grace, I still have my job. It's been 28 years. And today, when the whole world is struggling in COVID, when my entire business has gone for a toss because there's not going to be functions. In the last 8 months, we have been absolutely having no functions. People are, struggling for their things. But at least I have a steady job with Baba. Business is not there. And probably this year, last year we did about 70, 80 jobs. Santosh knows that. But this year we hardly have even 7 coming our way. So how does one survive for the whole year? With Baba's grace, I have my jobs. I've kept that job. And Baba categorically said, there was another very beautiful story which I would narrate to you where he specifically and categorically told me, do not leave your job. So I've kept that job. I've gone way too far in my business, touch wood with God's grace. He has helped me in every possible way. Many times in my younger days when I was at the top, or people keep saying, "Arey, kain nokri kare, atlu majanu kamai, chemche temche chori de thaya karse." But I kept my brains and my head on my shoulders, and I listened to them. Thank you, no problem. Let me do what I have to do. And with God's grace, I kept my job, and today, with God's grace, होने महीना में भले कम पगार आता है, but at least I have my main desires of food, clothing, and shelter that is taken care of, Baba. And this job which I got is from my mother, because bank my rule check, once a person passes away and expires, then the child gets the job. So that's how I got, in the span of 4 years. Adharme Varsato, I got the job in the bank. And many senior, sensible people, like since Dilshad is on the group, her father always categorically told me, ke, don't ever leave your job, Mr. Dindia Dampal. Many people who are sensible, who have seen practical life, who have seen the ups and downs of life, always told me. So I did keep that job. One more instance I would like to stay. Okay, so coming back to that particular story, where where Carl had mentioned it, that you will get married, and you will be a father soon, and you'll be a good father. I'm trying to be a good father. Now, taking this into consideration, years ago, say uh, probably in 80s, in the year 80s, I had gone the very small story, and how Baba kind of thinks, those small little gifts that Baba gives you sometimes, just in those small forms. And so I remember we had gone to this for the swimming in the Wellington Club, and in there I had seen a very beautiful boy who was swimming, who was hardly 6, 7 months old, and I remember very well, categorically, that child was there, and they were all the girls that were surrounded, all small young girls, and he was like that, Krishna surrounded by those gopis. This was in 80s, I still remember. And that is a thought to my mind that comes in. I said, okay, my God, this is such a beautiful baby I've never seen in my life. In my entire life, I've never seen such a beautiful child. And I kind of just had a thought in my mind and told Baba, hey, Baba, someday if I get a baby, it has to be like this. Just had a little thought there. Someday when I have a baby, I oh bachcho ho jo. And touchwood, when Stiana was 6 months old, I remember holding in my hand. I even have a picture of her, but unfortunately it's on my phone, so I can't show that to you. But and she was born. Of course, Stiana was a very touch with the Baba's child, beautiful child. And when she was born, she was round and very plumpy, if people remember her. And she was exactly the replica of that child which I had seen. And I used to just kind of keep thanking Baba for everything. That thank you, Baba, even for that small little gift that you gave me for that. And of course, now is 14 years old. Now coming to the other part of it, this is Carl's messages which I had got. Another message also strong came in forward, not to leave my job. But okay, no worries about that. Now talking about the Sahahvas. Now Sahahvas was a game changing for me. In the year 2000, we have time. We have time, right? Yeah. So Sahahvas was, I've always heard of Sahahvas when I was 14, 15 years old. Ke bhai America ma tha tu, and kids used to meet up, and I used to see those photographs in Glow magazine. And I wondered, yaar, Sahahvas suits each chair. God knows what it is. But it was so nice that the youngsters of Malay, dhamal masti bada courage and all that stuff. So Sahahvas was a game changer in the year 2000. Mera Kleiner and another few residents over there, they decided, okay, chalo bhai, let's do a Sahahvas over here. And so 2000 was the year where the first Sahahvas took place. Today it's become a very big event. There are more than 150 participants. And today it's become more spiritual, more connecting. And I strongly advise people, okay, if you have an opportunity, if you're in that age group, do not miss it under any circumstances. I had attended, I was lucky to have 5 years gone to the Sahahvas from 2000 to 2005. And the experiences were just mind boggling. I'll tell you one experience of the first Sahahvas. Sahahvas is what, just to give you a brief idea, 100 kids from abroad, 150 Indians. The first Sahahvas was almost a mix of the East and West. And that is the time I realized, when I saw that on the 10th day, the last day of the Sahahvas, people used to kind of, das divas by the young generation meet up from 19 to 35. A lot of love flowing, a lot of emotions, a lot of attachments, unbelievable experience. And now I felt that Sahahvas, when Baba said that I will break my silence, I at that point of felt this was breaking his silence. This was the bridge between the East and the West. Because never in the history of Mehrabad, maybe probably during Baba's time to thayu hose, but the younger generation, like earlier when we go to Mehrabad, what is it? We just go to the Samadhi and itche betha, we are all in goal groups talking here and there. But this Savas was a connect between the East and the West Bridge. And I recommended all my close friends, Eric Tampal, Nariman Kambata, Kaizad, Jamshedji, everybody, Baba, please come to the Savas, please come to the Savas. I begged them. Fortunately, they came and they had also a very different experience of their life later on. So I remember this scene, the last day of the Savas, where everybody, does Divas Badas Hate Hata. So a lot of emotional connect was there. And we were at the Mandli Hall. You know the Mandli Hall next to Mehrabad? There's a huge Mandli Hall where Baba used to give his discourses. And we were all there. The diyas were lit and the guitar music was going on. And we all went all into an emotional trance. We all went into a beautiful emotional trance where I also was kind of blown away to a different level altogether. And at the end of it, there was Baba's chair that's been kept there. There's Baba's chair. And you have to go down at the end and we used to bow down to that chair, take that gift. I think Rakhi used to do the honors by making those gifts, those beautiful wrapping gifts and, some Baba picture or, like a parting gift that was given to us. So I go down there and I bend my head. I bow down to that chair. And trust me, I felt somebody's hand on my head. Trust me, I felt somebody's hand on my head very, very strongly and very categorically. I am saying it. I felt a strong hand on my head as if koi matha pa paswari ho na, something like that. And I could not believe it. I knew Baba was there. That empty chair, Baba was there. 100% he was there. And to confirm this, there was one girl over there who still works in the Mehrabad office. Her name is Kitty Moer. Kitty Moer. She was constantly gazing at that chair. And once the Savas got over, she said, I actually saw Baba sitting there and giving each and every one of you his darshan. Like, like saying, okay, he would pat somebody's head. This was in 2000. Can you imagine? 2000. Baba passed away in 69. His presence was there. And the room, trust me, was charged. And we could feel his presence there. Somebody, foreigner, Baba used to tingle tangle. Somebody bowed down, so Baba would put his feet. How is his early days he used to give darshan. So that girl actually saw Baba sitting there and giving his personal darshan to each and every one of the Sahvasis. And I too had felt his hand and presence drastically. And then after 2000, 2001, 2002, then we became kind of behind the scenes people. We started organizing things. And with the organization, I learned a lot of things because foreigners, are some of them are very systematic, immaculate, planning, this, that. So 2002, 2003, used to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and, do these kind of planning activities for the entire day. So I learned a lot from these Westerners. And trust me, it was a game changer because that was the time where I used to, used to take photographs in the Savas. And whenever a task used to be given, like, say cleaning the floor or, painting the MPR, these small tasks were given to groups of people. I used to be the first one to take my camera and say, I'm going to take the pictures. And all my friends used to keep saying, Salo harami pacho kam chor bhagi gayo. As usual, any kind of manual work, bricks chair or anything of that sort. And I used to be the first one. Camera lene aunch. So Eric Tampal and Nariman Kambata and Jamshedji, all of them used to say, pacho bol thai gayo. As usual. For Sahahvas, that time for us, now it's a very serious project. But that time it was a lot of fun, I'll just show you one picture of a very funny picture. where yeah, okay. Now this was I think the first or the second Sahahvas. We used to have this kind of a dance group and we used to have a fantastic time. So this was a picture of me. I'm dressed up as Laila over here, and we had a fantastic time. Nobody knew about this, but on the last day of the Savas, just to kind of get a feel, because Baba always said, "Ke bhai, Ganu spirituality is also not good. Yeah, keep a balance of everything in life." So this fun part. Pilla to bahut kuch hoto, there was dance parties and all that stuff, but I think they've gone more subtler. Rakhi is taking it to a much subtler level. But I learned a lot in Savas. It was a game changer for me. That was a time where I used to take pictures. There was a time where I used to DJ for the night. And then all these things, I used to video shoot. And all these things later on, with Baba's grace, became a part of my life. Today I'm rubbing, I'm doing photography, I'm doing video, I'm doing music. So it all started from Mehrabad. It was all his grace that kind of gave me a thought in my mind, okay, bhai, do this, move forward, move forward, move forward. So 2007. So with the spiritual balance, Baba also, give, because see, Ajay boss, materialistic all things also are important in life. I'm a very practical person. If you don't have money in this life, in your hands, you are not able to go to Mehrabad also. Let's be very honest with you. So money is an important element. You have to be practical as you are emotional. So I kept working. I was working from morning 9 o'clock till 4 o'clock, and after 4 o'clock onwards, I used to do all this till 12 in the night. So I worked 20 years now in the business. I know how it all functions. But the drop, the thought, everything was Baba. Everything was Mehman. So I can, kind of say that Akku generation, Akki life was only Baba. This is all began today. And with Baba's grace, today we are touch wood, set in life and all that stuff. Now, Jimmy Anson, how much time do we have? Because I need to, 1 second.
Go ahead, keep going.
Okay, no problem, right? So just give me 5 minutes at the end because I want to kind of close it that way.
Sure.
So, this were, I think, the major things that I've covered. Okay, now getting a little more practical or a little more philosophical, I would like to tell this to everybody. What I believe is I'm basically a blend of emotions and practicality in life. I need to balance that. With Baba's grace, he has been the captain of our ship and he has led us through all the way. Any problems in life, any taklif in life, any issues in life, leave everything at his feet. Please understand, he knows what is best for you. You do not know what is in store for you because he sees the future. Simple example of my job. Today, I would have left it. I would probably have been on a different level. Today, Ajay, probably for 8, 9 months, I would have not had a rupee in my account or whatever. Today, with his grace, because he was on the bridge, seeing that by future ni under, this is going to be the future. This is so. Sometimes when these masters know what is right for you, they know what is right for you. Don't argue with them. Don't Baba mane apo, Baba mane apo, Baba. Baba tamara vaste nathi. Don't, please understand. It is not meant for you. This time only will show what Baba said at that point of time was right. So please accept it. Today I remember me and Nariman Khambata બધા ફ્રેન્ડ્સો પન્ની ગયેલા મેટ્રિમોનિયલ સાઇટ્સ પર જઈને કંટાળો ગયેલા કે બોસ કઈ શું કરીએ આપણે પાગલ થઈ જશું તો એક છોકરી મળતી નથી બાબા શું કહેવા માંગો છો તમે but when he has to give you, he will give you the best. Today with God's grace, I've got Farzana as my wife. I'm lucky. I'm happy. I've got a very lovely daughter and a lovely wife. And I thank God and appreciate every day of my life. Probably when I sit back and think about ये बड़ा mental बैराव साथे अगर जो पढ़ते बनते हैं तो आज तो हमारा बाहर वाली करते हैं honestly on those terms. So that way. And so he knows. Baba, my grandfather always used to say, "Tan cheez darling yad raj, just pray to Baba 3 things: help me, guide me, and protect me." These are the 3 golden words that he always used to tell me: help me, guide me, and protect me. Secondly, I am not I would say I'm not a great Baba lover. I'm not that. I'm just a Baba follower. Because Baba lovers were, I think, the Mandli people, the people who have been absolutely following his footsteps. You know, like Erach uncle, Mani auntie, you know, all these people, Jal Dastur. I mean, they are the stalwarts. Apre kaun chahiye yaar? I don't think I don't consider myself a Baba lover. I can say I'm a Baba follower. I'm trying to get there as much as I can. I don't pray every day. I don't do Baba Aartis every day. I don't go to the fire temple every day. But honestly and sincerely, I try to lead a good life. I try to lead an honest life. I try to see कि भाई मोरा मोना मत कि वो लिखने नहीं गया can hurt somebody or harm somebody. Or I've probably in my entire life I've never even said. I mean, also of course things happen, but intentionally I would not try to hurt or harm any of his beings. Try to follow the element of his perception. Ajay, in entire generations and avatars, he's been saying the same thing. Buddha is same cheez kayo, Christ is same cheez kayo, Muhammad is same cheez kayo. So everybody has got that engraved within and try to follow his words. Very few people today are actually following his words. Je kayo uske karo nahi bal. Everything else will be taken care of. Don't worry about it. If it is meant for you, it will come to you. If it is not meant for you, it will not come to you. Something is always remember, something was in store much, much better for you. You were not destined for that. Please understand that. You were not destined for that. Accept it and move forward. Sometimes even in our business, sometimes we may get a contract, we may not get a contract. Trust me, later on, Madam, thank God we didn't get the contract. Client was, a little difficult and things did not go the right way. Secondly, I would like to only say one last thing over here. Okay, please be extremely careful of your karma. Karma is the key element. I'm sorry, I'm being a little philosophical, but I feel it is important. Karma is the essence of life. Whatever you have sown in your past, you will get. Same story goes. Baba has always specified on this. And two very, very important questions that I would like to put forth. So when you are, remember this, when you are at the end of your life and you would probably be on the gates to heaven or hell, that only he will decide. You need to ask only two questions to yourself and start preparing from now. Only two questions. Have you found, I'm again repeating this, have you found joy in your life? Question number one. Have you found joy in your life? You need to answer that question. And number two, has your life brought joy to others? I repeat, has your life brought joy to others? These two questions, I think, if they are answered well, will open up the doors wherever your next journey will begin. And be committed. My grandfather always used to say that he has searched for saints in his younger days, in his youthful days. He went here, he went to Kamo Baba, he went to Sai Baba, he went every possible lot of places. He went to lots of places. But with Baba, he always used to say only one thing: hold on to his diamond under any circumstances. He is the avatar. He is the only one that will take your ship from year to year. And why worry, yaar? We are all his children. They are all his children. He's just leave everything to the captain of the ship. Let him drive your damn boat. Everything will be okay. Everything will be okay. You don't have to worry about anything. And as Mansari, remember Baba's close Mandli member Mansari, always he used to say one thing: Divas mein khali 5 time Baba nu naam lo. 5 time. Remember him in his different. Even if you don't pray, if you don't have the time to do prayers, remember him only 5 times in a day, and your day will go well. So I think I've covered most of this stuff. Just a second, I'm just seeing if I've missed out on something. I've written these notes down, so yeah. Okay, I think I'm done. If any questions or anybody wants to ask any questions, just free to do so. Rakesh, I think.
I think Dilshad wants to say something.
Yeah, Dilshad, please proceed. Dilshad, I think mic is off. Tiana.
Sorry. Am I audible now?
Yes, yes, Dilshad. Please go ahead.
Uh, Thank you for such an inspiring talk. I
No.
have three connected questions. Uh, how did you get Carl's letter and message? Now, at this age, I believe that was at a very young age that you did it. Would
Yeah.
you recommend it, or would you support it at this age? And thirdly, the wisdom that you have now got of Baba at this age, and in retrospect, do you think what you did was a correct thing to do, or how would you see it in that perspective? Thank you.
Okay. Sure. Love the question. Dilshad, yes. See, what I would suggest is if you have an extreme great turmoil in your life, or if you've got some difficulty or some problem in your life, I don't think that it is wrong to connect, because the entire book of Nan Umbruger is, and Nan herself has helped thousands and lakhs of people coming to Mehrabad and help them. My my concept is only one, that if you have a question, you definitely ask a एकदम life turning question होए, suppose life के अंदर, then you please do ask and probably you will get an answer. But don't kind of rely for everything on like somebody told me that there were people who were even writing to Nan, okay, we want to go to Ahmednagar, should we take the bus or should we take the cab? That was the situation. So for every little thing, don't rely on Kal and Baba. Use your common sense, use your mind, use your individual knowledge which Baba has given you, and you can take your call. And I'm sure there's nothing. See. I'm not saying that a lot of senior Baba people feel कि नहीं हम नहीं करना चाहिए. Why should you ask? I'm of the opinion. अरे बाबा ये open किधर उछे यार, दरवाजा open किधर उछे. If there's one or two questions, he loves us, he's our father, he's our companion. एक दो questions पूछ ही लीधा. I don't think there's a problem on that. And today, if I feel the level of maturity that I have today, yes, I would use my individual intellect and my Baba supportive books that I have to guide me through the process. But I would not, unless it's a life-threatening decision, I would not ask Tal or Nan about the whole thing. And I don't think it's wrong. I think if you have something, see, Baba is actually, these are these small trophies and eclairs which Baba is giving you, the new Baba lovers. What I believe. If I, come to me, come to me. How would you, today if you're an elder in a particular party, how will you ask a child to come up to you? You would probably offer a sweet or a chocolate to Baba, come to me. Baba, then once the chocolate is eaten and done with, then it's between you and him. The connect is between you and him. So you need to keep that connect. Then Baba is everything. Baba, it's you and it's Baba. Then if you have your direct connect with Baba also, that's fine. If you want to connect via this also is absolutely fine. I think it's absolutely. I hope I've answered your question, Dilsha.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, guys.
Thank you.
Okay,
Something I learned about Arish today, and that is when Arish was to be born, his mother had a vision, not a dream. His mother had a vision that she was surrounded by fairies and angels.
Oh my God.
And in no time, Arish was born. So the angels and the fairies were celebrating the birth of coming of an old soul in Baba's family, in Baba's fold. So that is Arish for you. Another point, another pointer I got from Arish was talking about operations and the surgeries that Arish talked about. In everybody's life, a time comes when a surgeon comes in, when either you are going to be operated or someone in your family is going to be operated, and a surgeon's name is recommended, and you of course have to go for the best surgeon, uh, knowing your financial status, but you try to get the best given the circumstances. what I always do and what my family at Aina Bepsi, we all do is we always pray to Baba, Baba, please tame operate karjo. Baba, please, you do the operation. Yes, we have hired the services of a surgeon. Fine, we have to do it. But at the back of it, we say, Baba, please tame out lagarjo. Baba, please tame out lagarjo, tame operation karjo. And there are so many who have said that we saw Baba, we saw Baba operating, we saw someone in white robe in the operation theater, etc., etc. And surgeons have said that I am not operated. Surgeons have said that I am not operated. I don't know what force was moving my fingers. They were not my fingers. Someone was. So same goes with Arish's brother. And I fully 100% endorse what Arish said. Absolutely. Well, if there are some more wanting to talk to Arish, we are throwing the house open. Please do make use of Arish. Please make use of Arish. No, seriously. Please ask him. Please.
Anybody else wants a?
Can I ask another question?
Sure, please do that.
Arish, it would be lovely to know how your grandfather first came into Baba's fold. If you can, in a short encapsulate about his experience and what finally convinced him that Baba is
Dilshad,
the ultimate.
Dilshad, for that, I think
The Almighty.
Jamie Khan will have to take one more session. There are loads and loads and loads of stories. Just to give you one, a small peck of a story of my grandfather. If you have the time, just 5 minutes. He was a spiritually, a very beautiful, a very high-end spiritual seeker. He used to go in for meditation for 2 to 3 hours, at a point of time where, पहले उठारवा पड़ता था कि बाबा उठो जमवा चालो or something like that. He used to go so deep, and his experiences are phenomenal. But he share his experiences. He used to not talk much of it because he was always under that impression that I बताते मैंने these beautiful miracles that are happening in my life. If I talk about them, it will stop. So he always had that. So probably for that, I think we'll have to have one more session. I'll discuss with Sam and Jimmy. Jimmy Khan probably will have one more session. But just to give you one idea, I was around, around 24, 25 years old. And Babaji had a very, very bad eyesight. Okay, now listen to this. He had an extremely bad eyesight. He had almost like jhara kach, humongous kach humongous. Like, ekdam pela jhara kach. Whenever I used to wanted to tease him, I would specs bull kari bharat so I remember that. And one day he had his eye surgery when I think there was an implant put or his cataract put or something. And he was very, very scared. Like, as it is, and so this surgery of his took place almost when he was in his 80s, 75 k 80s age ma. And I remember, he had just come back from his surgery. He was sleeping on a bed with his wife, Babaji Sadis, and I was just next to him on a sofa there. Now, the story goes like that is, he got operated, and then, we had a kind of a bathroom where we used to keep that little bathroom open to the light that used to act like a night lamp. So in the middle of the night, at around say 12, 12:30, he's telling me, "Arey Arish, light એટલી બધી કેમ મોના પર આવી રહી છે? Light કેમ એટલી આવી રહી છે? I'm not able to understand એટલી બધી light કેમ દેખાય છે મને?" So I said, "Babaji, light કોથી તમને દેખાય? તો the door is closed. There's hardly any light that is penetrating. તમને એટલી બધી light કોથી દેખાય?" નહીં, I'm seeing a lot of bright light. I'm seeing a lot of bright light. Then in the next morning, his bandages were on. His bandages were on. They were not removed. His bandages were on. Next day, he's telling me, Arish, I saw tremendous bright light in the entire Akkha Gherma, in the entire room. and after the light faded off, in our entire room, I saw pictures of Baba. Right from his childhood days till he expired, room bharine, we saw a vision of Baba's pictures. And I kept wondering, and after his cap was removed, cataract mein pelo ida જેવું પેલું મુકતા હતા, I remember everybody. After it was removed, his eyes, he had never seen color, so much color. He had never seen such brightness in his life. All his life was like a pillow haze because of his weak eyesight. So
Yeah.
he was thrilled. He was actually thrilled. કે ઓ ખોડાઈજી કે તમે લોકો એવી રીતે જોઈ, આરિશ કોઈ એવી રીતે વાંચી શકે, આરિશ એવા કલર્સ જોઈ શકે. He had never seen such beautiful colors and things in his life. So it was like a big for him. It was aesthetic to see his son like that, or see the colors of the television, or see the colors of and all that stuff. So this was another experience. Multiple experiences Baba has given him. This entire, he tells me, Arish, room was filled with light. And Baba ne mane badha photographs so dekha, right from his childhood till his ending. Like a whole vision was shown to him. That one more story which I would like to narrate. Do we have time? Anybody wants to ask any question?
Yeah, go ahead with that story. Go ahead with
Okay,
that.
one small story. I always in my life have tried I can jitla lokone Baba agar le aau, I do that. All my life I've tried to get more and more Baba lovers, because I feel maybe it's my purpose in life, or maybe later on life so Baba no works, I don't know. Once Meru auntie had mentioned to my mother, Arish will be doing a lot of Baba work later on in his life. Now I don't know when that later is coming, maybe whatever that is in store. So one small story I wanted to narrate is I had gone about a couple of years back. I had gone to Mehrabad uh, on a small mission. Sahahvas sorry, Silence Day par javas, and I will carry my entire camera back kit, and I will take very beautiful pictures of Ahmednagar, and then I will kind of make a slideshow of that. Baba nu aur naam prachar thai, Baba, more people get to know about Baba. That was my whole idea and my whole plans. So I was in two minds. So I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning. My wife still screams at me for that. કે 5 વાગે હું સવારના ઉઠ્યો અને બાબાની બારનો ઠોક્યો અને કે મેં કહું ફજાના હું જરા નગર જઈ આવું. My wife, and she still gets very upset with that. That I still remember that is the first time in my life you did not plan anything, and you did not, somewhere down the line I just decided I want to do this for Baba. And 2 days I was in Ahmednagar. I brought out to all my camera lenses and everything, and I clicked, and I created a lovely slideshow, and I put it on Facebook, and a little bit of Baba. Baba no, I mean, naam had people get. My entire idea was only Baba no words and more people come to know about Baba. So then fortunately I gave these photographs to our local Parsi newspaper, Jame Jamshed. Everybody knows about Jame Jamshed, that newspaper. So I thought thoda घना photographs मोकलिया. Shehnaz is my friend, Shehnaz engineer. And suddenly I was not aware at all. Maybe I little thing about Baba, Baba no naam पूरा प्रचार करो. I took the help of Cyrus Sambata. Cyrus ने पहले थोड़ा description आप you, and just said कि चल लखू. Normally, Jame, when you give them 5 photographs, they'll publish one. When you give them 10 photographs, they will submit only one. And suddenly, on a Sunday morning, I get up and I see the center spread was full of Baba pictures, and a full write-up, like an entire center page on Mehrabad. Now, for a Jame, which is like Zoroastrian cult, example of religion following, to give a big spread was shocking to me. I'm getting calls from Mayor Baba people. Wow, what a beautiful this thing you did. And this, it doesn't suddenly appear, and maybe Shehnaz put it in a front page because she had those lovely pictures. And fortunately, I said, "Chal Baba, at least थोड़ा जनने भी knowledge Baba नु मले कि Baba नो प्रचार थाय, कि Baba नो word spread थाय." So I would be more than happy, and I would be thankful to Baba. So one day when we do Baba's work, we don't expect anything, but sometimes our little finger of that ego feels कि भाई चलो नहीं कहीं तो कहीं somebody कहीं acknowledgement वाले के कहीं थाय. So I was in Ahmednagar in the Samadhi, in the line, and a few days after this. And I just felt it in my heart. I just wish that after doing this, if even one person comes to Baba, I'll be a very happy person. एक भी मानस आए अगर आर्टिकल के आए फोटोग्राफ्स वांचीने, if he comes to Baba, I'll be happy कि मोरू थोड़ू जो काम હતું कि मैं बाबा નું થોડું मैं मोरा तरफ से मैं થોડું काम કીધું. Of course, His grace is almighty and His His work. He will do His work. We are nobody. We are just mediums, as I always say that. We are just bringing the word to the ears, and from here to take it to the heart is His problem. That is all that I'm supposed to do. So I was just thinking, એટલામાં એક પાછળ gentleman, મારી પાછળ એક senior gentleman had come with his wife. I said કે જય બાબા તમે first time આયા? હા first time. I said કે what brings you to Mehrabad? So he said નહીં અહીં last જામે જમશેદમાં કોઈ photographer Arish Patel કરીને કોઈ છે તેને કે ફોટા પાડેલા ને કે આર્ટિકલ લખેલું. So we were intrigued to come to Mehrabad and see what the whole place is all about. So I just kept my mouth shut. I didn't say a word. I didn't say I was Arish Patel. I didn't say nothing. I just kept my mouth. I just said thank you, Baba. He asked me, "Tamaru naam so?" I said, "Uncle, there arms." And I just went away. I didn't want to say anything about that. I just and so my intention was, even if by talking about Baba or by doing this, like you guys are doing on Facebook, or talking about Baba, and so if people are touched in any ways, or the Master's love spreads through any of you all, just be thankful to Him, and we take it as a very strong medium that what more can I say? So this was a lovely story where Baba indirectly tells you, "Okay, nahi, thoru to, just keep talking about me, from bringing it from the ear to the heart is my lookout." And that is what it was. And even recently, where entirely the only intent was कि बाबा नु नाम था. That was my only intent. Now see the connection. Today when I was sleeping in the afternoon, I remember this connect. I and my daughter decided we will do a small song, which probably a lot of people have seen. At the end of it, I'm going to play it for people to know. And my idea was कि वो अहमदनगर में एक song बनाऊं and Mehrabad, where which song should I play and what should I think. And suddenly I think about this particular song which was composed in the Sahahvas sometime years ago. And so I decided that Tiana sings well, so I'll do this song for not for anything else, but only intent was for Baba. That's all. એનું નામ થાય, ચાર લોકો Facebook પર જોશે, WhatsApp પર જોશે, તો people might just get intrigued to come and know who Baba is all about. Finally, it is his work, but I just felt from within કે મને કરવું જોઈએ. And one of the guys who is on the group right now, Mr. Gagre, he is my main videographer in the team, probably by the name of Kagya Gagre, you can see over there, Santosh. He's not a devout follower of Baba, but I talked to him about it and he listens, and I appreciate that. And he was the one who really helped me out in the editing process, and his wife always been a great support to me in my video production team. So I would love to play that song so people who have not seen it can see it. That was my whole idea. So if people want to see that song and if there are no further questions, I can play that.
Yeah, we go ahead with that song.
Go ahead with the song, Tina, please. Give me a second, guys. I'll have to figure this out. Any further questions? Anybody wants to ask anything?
Arish, that article in Jame was also written by you?
No, it was written by Cyrus Uncle plus minus Forum Kidalu.
Okay. And I would really request, if possible, Jimmy Uncle Khan and Sam Uncle Patel can organize one session wherein we can find out about how your forefather grandfather came into.
Yeah, can you hear me, guys?
Yes, a little loud. You're too loud.
Okay. This one. Just a minute, guys.
Okay, guys. Arish's grandfather, Hosang Patel, was spiritually very advanced. And one of the secrets of people who are spiritually very advanced are they do not talk about it. I think Arish touched it in the end. My mother and Hosang Patel, they would talk about it between themselves, and they wouldn't much talk about to the other people. And the rationale is that whatever you gather, whatever you earn spiritually, is not to be wasted by talking to people who do not understand you, who are not on your level, spiritually speaking. And if you talk to people who are not spiritually in line or in sync with you, they might make fun of you, because there are certain things which are not acceptable emotionally, mentally, spiritually by those who do not understand spirituality. So this is not something which people should laugh at. I've sat with Hosang uncle at Jimmy's house where he's talking from. I've met him so many times, and I would kind of prick him to talk to me, prick him to talk to me. But he was that type. He was that type. He would not talk. So was my mother. So was my mother. Okay, Arish, if you are ready, we are on.
Okay. Today afternoon, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So today afternoon, I had this thought that, as I mentioned to you, the first story which mummy had the dream of all the different avatars. As I told you at the end, that mummy saw a Japanese man and even took his darshan, and Baba had said that after 700 years he'll be coming as the avatar. Today I sit back and I connect the song that we chose for Tiana to sing is the same song. Now see the connection. Today I'm connecting this, I'm connecting the dots today. What dream my mother had in 72, we did it in 2020. In 19, we did this song. So maybe some connection about this song is about the avatars. I hope you all have seen it before. If you all haven't seen it, please see it. It's a lovely song which Tiana had done it in Mehrabad. You'll love it. Just hold on.
Should I do it?
Yeah, start. Sound भी दिखा.
Can you all see the screen?
Can you all see the screen? No.
Yeah, we can see it.
Coming up. It's coming up.
Why is it so slow? Yeah.
Can you all see it now?
Yes.
Okay.
Play it now.
Perfect.
Buddha Zarathustra, Krishna Rama. Buddha Zarathustra, Krishna Rama. Buddha Ilahi, Jesus Meher Baba. Krishna Rama, Buddha Ilahi, Jesus Meher Baba. Krishna Rama, Buddha Zarathustra, Krishna Rama, Buddha Zarathustra, Krishna Rama, Buddha Ilahi, Jesus Meher Baba. Krishna Rama, Buddha Ilahi, Jesus Meher Baba. Creator, sustainer, awakener, Parameshwar. Creator, sustainer, awakener, Parameshwar. Krishna Rama, Buddha Ilahi, Jesus Meher Baba. Krishna Rama, Buddha Ilahi, Jesus Meher Baba.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Arish.
Hey, Baba.
Thank you, Arish. Thank you so much for taking us to Mehrabad as well. Wow. What a crescendo. Absolute crescendo. Arish, I cannot thank you enough. You gave us a beautiful evening. Absolutely beautiful evening. And I promise you, we will revisit you.
For sure, absolutely. It was a pleasure talking to everybody. I don't even know how many people are there, but I would love to talk again. Maybe next time, since one of you asked with more stories about my grandfather, I'll try to dig in whatever I can and probably ask my dad to say something or maybe a few stories here and there. Make something nice out of that and probably give you all. So be with Baba, be with him. He's the captain of your ship. Don't worry about any of your problems. He will take care of everything. Leave it to him. What is not in your stride will not be for you. Something better is coming for you. So hold on to his daman forever and ever. Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
Thank you,
Jai
Arish.
Baba Arish.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
Parvez, can you reset the RT, please?
हाँ जी अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय बुझावे नार जहलत नी कर खुद रात ने फरमातू छलागी आश भक्तों ने के बख्शे नूरे ईमातू आया मुर्शद मेहर बाबा चरण पर तुझ ना दरिए सर खुदा ना जात थी वाकिफ थई मैं थो मेहरबा तू छे मालिक हकीकत नो तू आशे बीने आरिफ भी तुझे दरियाए वहदत मारिफत नो होई तूफातू अमोर है रव ने ऐसा लेख बखसे ज्ञान ईज़द नू के तू पर महात्मा ज्ञानी छने मुख तारे इरफातू हमनाना प्रेम नो प्यालो पिलावी मस्त हमने कर छे तुझ पर जान सदके साकिया पी दे पैमा तू हमारी नाव भर दरिए तरावे तो हमें तरिए हमारा ना खुदाए मेहर बाबा छे निगह बातू हमारा ना खुदाए मेहर बाबा छे निगह बातू बुझावे नार जहलत नी कर खुद रात ने फरमातू अवतार मेहर बाबा नी जय।
Thank you, Maruk. Thank you, Parvez.
थैंक यू जय बाबा
जय मेहर बाबा। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। जय मेहर बाबा।
Jai Baba. Thank you, everybody.
जय बाबा जय बाबा।
You are